Hi, I'm Leon Gettler from Talking Business. Today I'm speaking with the CEO Anthony Baker and the original founder, director and head of innovation Finbar O'Hanlon from ASX-listed IonVideo Limited. The ASX ticker is IOV. Now, over the past 6 months, the company has grown from a market cap of 23 million to 83 million. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the company, let me give you some brief background. Now, IonVideo Limited is an infrastructure company that has developed patented technology to virtualize video at the file architecture level, transforming static files into programmable data. And protected by 4 foundational patents, Ion's technology enables intelligent systems to access and compose with existing video content as programmable data without transcoding. Now, Finbar.
Yes, Leon.
Look, you've had a very successful career with a range of companies. So the $1 million question is, why did you create Ion?
Well, so Ion, it's quite an interesting story, and I won't go into because it could be 3 hours here. But essentially, many years ago, around 2006, I was working in Europe on some large video technology systems, and it was before video was really streamed over the internet. And back then, there was millions of files that existed in the back end of these telcos. The same file needed to be duplicated in many different ways just to play on different devices, from Nokia handsets to Blackberries. Every device needed their own version of the same file. And there was millions and millions of files because of it. I bothered to ask, well, what's inside a video file? And people were like, well, what do you mean? It's a video file. It's sort of like asking, well, what's inside the water? It's like, so, but I was intrigued. So I went and looked inside it, and I figured out actually a video file is just a database with numbers in it, data structure, and a wrapper. And that was the start of it. So I worked out a way to make a file play in all these different devices without going through the processing and all of making all the new files. So I could make this one file play on all these devices in literally milliseconds.
So you worked out video was basically data.
It was a data structure. It just looks like, so when people see a video file on their computer and they click play and it plays, they think this magical thing is actually a video file. But it's actually not. It's a data structure, just like a database. And when you treat video like a database and you can build systems around it, then a whole new world of possibility comes into fore.
Now, since then, we've had the advent of AI.
Yes.
So I've got to ask you, is it an opportunity or a threat?
Well, it's absolutely probably one of the biggest opportunities for a business like this. And I'll tell you why. It starts with a problem statement. And if we look at what is the problem statement, well, for the average person at home, the problem statement is that today there are literally billions of files on the internet. And every day, people are spending up to 30% of their time trying to find something to watch. So we just think about that. Why? Again, I go back to the why. I'm like that 5-year-old kid. Why? Why are we spending 30% of our time trying to find something to watch when we've got all this available content? It's because content was already pre-packaged by someone else for an audience. It was never made around us. And so what we've ended up is AI is this technology that allows everything to shape around us. We can go into a prompt and make a Word doc. We can make a picture. We can do all these sorts of things. But you know what we can't do? We can't instantly go and make a video that's relevant to me. It doesn't exist. Why? Because we've adopted a file format. We haven't updated the video file for decades, but we've updated the technology. So everything in the world has evolved around video except the video file itself.
Right, and now Ion doesn't actually create the new videos, but it lets AI curate what already exists, is that right?
Yeah, so think about it this way. What we do is we're a little bit, you know what forensic science or DNA is? It allows you to see the molecular level. We're the technology that allows to see inside these files. And the best explanation that I think a lot of people resonate with, it's like when you buy the Lego Millennium Falcon, you get a box and you get instructions and Lego bits. That box is the video file, but inside it is instructions and little bits. We're the people that rebuild the new instructions that can reassemble the bits that live inside video files. So what ends up happening is AI can now tell Ion, go and make me a brand new video file in seconds. And instead of us making a file, All we do is connect to the Lego bits that live inside other files and then present that back. So it looks like a file, but it's actually not.
So you assemble the Lego or the data?
The data that lives inside video files. Yeah.
Right, okay. So is it a case of letting others curate a monetized paywall?
Yeah, so let's just, everything I'm saying is sort of technical. Let's just think about it this way, right? When you've got these big files, these billions of files, and you can now go and pull bits out of them and reassemble them in any way, shape you want in seconds. It means now that content owners can monetize the little bits inside their videos. It means they can sell parts of the video without going and editing video. It means that large video libraries don't have to store 50 versions of the file. They don't have to go, data centers don't have to spend all this money on compute and energy. AI companies can talk to video. What it does is it fundamentally transforms the ability to monetize, to control and access different video experiences.
So you work with NVIDIA, is that right?
We don't work with NVIDIA yet. We put out a number of hypotheticals, which is what this business will look like if we are empowered with some of the world's biggest companies. We're a business, our technology is intellectual property. That goes back to 2007. Sure. And so we're once integrated inside some of the world's biggest companies, the impacts are profound at scale. So for a company like NVIDIA, it means they're really, really high quality chips don't have to be wasted on compute of making a digital copy of a file. It can be put onto other things because we can make the version of the file in instance. For companies like Google, it means that we can connect Google Gemini and YouTube to provide experiences in seconds.
Well, but you are in effect doing this almost at a molecular level.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I mean, for people hearing this for the first time, what does it actually mean to virtualize video at the molecular level?
What it means is if you are used to using ChatGPT, you type something into a prompt. Do you know how the back end works behind ChatGPT, about how it actually model weights and how it uses tokens? Not many people do. But essentially, it's a prediction machine based on little tiny bits of data. So it knows what words to go in front of others. What we've done is we take the hood off these rendered video files and make the insides of video just like that data. So video can now be predicted and it can provide personal video experiences for an end user. So it's, in a way, that's what this whole thing about virtual video means. It means that we can now give these intelligent systems a way to construct new customer experiences, new monetization models, at the same time as reducing all the cost involved in managing the world's video content.
Now, why can AI generate new video, but it still can't really work with the trillions of hours that already exist?
Well, so if AI, the way it works with AI is you tell it, go and make me a video, AI, and it will do what's called generative video. Now, it's so expensive that OpenAI shut down Sora because it was totally uneconomical. So they shut down one of the biggest video models in the world because the cost of making it, compute on making these files is so astronomical. And so what we do though is we mean that AI doesn't have to go and generate a file. It can assemble it. So the difference between generate and assemble happens in seconds, requires no compute. Generate means it's got to take tokens, it costs money, it takes time, where we deliver instant experiences. So the trillions of hours of human created content, it already exists. 700,000 hours of uploaded to YouTube every day. That content is now addressable, just like text, and it's monetizable, and it's deliverable into customer experiences in seconds.
When you say Ion virtualizes video at the molecular level, what actually changes about how the video behaves?
What it changes is that a rendered video file, what can you do with a rendered video file? All you can do is play it. Right? When you can build video at the molecular level, you can instruct it to assemble it from different parts of it. So it's like a recipe. You can basically be the conductor or the orchestrator of your own experience. A rendered video file is made by someone else for you. Someone makes the file for an audience. A production team, a producer, a director makes a file. You don't get to make the decision on what your file is. Someone's made it for you. Virtual video means you are in the director's seat. You can tell your AI, make me a file that's relevant to me. I've got 7 minutes to get home. Here's the World Cup. These are my favourite 3 teams. Here's my favourite 3 players. I only want to see the penalty shots. Make me that file now. And in less than 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it's built your own version of that file.
Okay. Anthony, you and the board of Ion have been the architects of rebuilding and positioning the business.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your background, how you got involved with the company?
Yeah, my background started off in investment banking many moons ago, and then post-investment banking started buying my own businesses and regenerating those businesses, specialising in turnarounds. And I successfully done that about circa 20 times over the course of my life. And I'd invested in this company called Lineus Technologies, and I was one of the largest shareholders. And I was just about to put some more money in because I believed in the foundational patents of the company. And my wife turned around to me and said, you know, we've lost a lot of money on this company. You know, what are you going to do about it? And she persuaded me to get back involved in the company, to try and take an operational role. And yeah, look beneath the hood and just focus on a turnaround. And that was around July last year that I officially came on board.
So how are you seeking to commercialise the business?
Mainly through licensing.
Licensing?
So licensing. So we've got 3 elements of the licensing model. Obviously, as Finbar has described, we are an IP play. So there's 3 elements of the licensing negotiations. One is an integration fee. Secondly, then it's like an annual license fee. And then the third factor, which is our main revenue generator, is the enablement figure. So in other words, if we're able to save a proportion of costs for that organisation, we will take a percentage of that cost, what we're saving. Or if we're unable to generate further revenue for that organisation, we take a percentage of that revenue. Typically, those percentages are anywhere between 3% or 0.5%. But when you're talking the contract size, the potential, that is very significant numbers.
Right, and of course, you keep the IP.
Correct. That is the value. That's the value of the business. And just clarifying on the IP, you know, the IP, the original patents, whilst they were filed in 2007, they don't expire until the 15th of August 2028. And then what we've built through Finbar is a number of what I would call interlapping or integrated technologies that actually protect the original patent for a further 20 years. It won't stop people actually virtualizing video, but what it will do is they can't do anything with it. If you want, you know, it's all right saying, oh, we're going to virtualize video, but okay, once you've done that, what are you going to do with it? You're going to monetize it, you're going to reduce costs, whatever. The third patent, which Finbar again endorsed and created once he came back to the company, that's worth its weight in gold to us because it effectively, in itself, it extends the original patent by a further 20 years. So we've got a shelf life now out to 2048, which in the world of AI is an eternity.
That's right. That's right. And of course, the real money for the company comes from the licensing.
Correct. And we're making great progress on that. You know, we've only been out to the market since, let's call it, well, our showcase was on February the 9th. By the time we'd actually got all the materials and because we also undertook a company rebranding. Once we were ready to go out to the market, let's say that was beginning of March, we're already in talks with a number of global organizations, and we've just announced our 4C this morning. And, you know, we've indicated that those conversations have now progressed from indicative conversations. We're now firming up what are known as proof of concepts.
So can I ask you specifically, who are some of the local and international targets that you want to engage with?
We've announced already to the market that we are in talks with Alphabet and with Meta, and those talks are progressing. So all global video holders, anyone who does anything with video basically is a target of ours. In terms of who are the talks most progressed with, as I say, we're actively pursuing 4 POCs at the present moment. I can say one of those is with an entertainment company. We've got 2 global telcos, and one of them is with one of the largest technology companies in the world.
Right, okay. Can you tell me what you see the key achievements and milestones for the company over the past quarter?
Past quarter, continued discipline. That's the main thing for the company. when I came back on board, there was no structure, no organization in the organization. We had millions of dollars of debt, over $5.5 million of debt in July 2025. The company's now debt-free completely. So we've also got our trade creditors down. So we really have shored up the balance sheet. We've got a visibility in terms of our cash runway in the business until June 27. So we don't have to go to the market. We're not dependent on other people's money at the present moment. So that's in terms of the business fundamentals. The main thing we focused on over the last quarter is, yes, we've continued those disciplines and enhanced the business, but it's more protecting the IP, developing the IP. Over the last quarter, we've announced 2 patents, the right to identify and the right to classify, which are 2 key patents which extend the portfolio family up to now 5. And it really is focused on the commercialization. The traction that we've made in my belief, a short space of time is significant. We're not talking to very small companies. We're talking to Goliaths of organizations, and they take time, to actually get through to the right people, to actually then understand their technology stacks, how we're going to integrate with them, what are success metrics. There's no point agreeing a deal with one of these companies just for the sake of doing a trial. A trial achieves nothing. The whole strategic aim of this company is to actually enter trials that actually then yield long-term contracts. So what we want to do is announce a POC to the market with very clear defined success metrics that we believe we can achieve, so that once we've achieved them, it's an automatic right to a contract. As I say, Linus has got a reputation of entering POCs what went nowhere. I refuse to do that.
And these targets we're talking about, they're Goliaths.
As I said, one of them is one of the largest. It's a member of the Magnificent Seven. So yeah, they are Goliaths. And as I said, the talks are progressing exceptionally well. Finn and I are back into the US pretty soon to continue those conversations.
So what's ahead for IonVideo?
Commercialization. Very simple. We've got the business model now is sound. We're very focused. We're laser focused as an organization. We're aligned around our patents. We're not getting distracted by building products. We know what we're good at. We know what we've got. And we've got our messaging correct. Every day we wake up, we see new announcements coming out from new AI models, new influencers, people in our space who it just shows that everything is gradually, we're on the right path. It's now a matter of getting the right markets. I would love to say that's Australia. But I think we all know technology is not necessarily loved in Australia, and we need to go to America. That is our market.
Thank you, Anthony and Finbar, for joining Talking Business in the studio today, where we are always keen to showcase companies that are at the leading edge of technology and innovation that can make a real difference in the marketplace. I'm Leon Gettler, bringing you Talking Business.